When I was brought up in Kenya, and somebody spent a lot of time telling me to sing the national anthem every day. So Kenya is real in that sense, right? And so I'm invested. But the truth is, it's just a 40-year-old country, and there's a lot it hasn't done, places it hasn't gone, questions that have to be asked of it. Being a writer who has a certain name in certain places, I can talk to economic people and I can say, okay, what's a useful position that we think we should try and push so that people start to understand that there's a narrative we want to write for ourselves and we don't want the New York Times to be writing it and that sort of thing.
I feel very, very strongly that the challenge of being a writer is in a way to stand outside, not so much norms and values, but the manners that are just their manners because of manners, or of conforming. Because to be able to think freely and create freely is to mean that you're always prepared to attack those things, even if they're part of you, if necessary. And that when one finds themselves being blocked, the truth being blocked by, I don't know if that's the right thing to say because I don't know what people will say or think, and then, as a good boy girl, because I was a teacher, whatever, that's a big problem. Frankly, in fact, I think so many of us are, as young Africans, have been kind of held hostage by kind of very, very school teacher thing, teacher, need permission and everything else. And our whole culture above that is so tied into feeling when you're writing, you're waiting over the shoulder for the person to say, something like that. And breaking out of that mode is a huge thing. It takes people a long time. I think it took me almost all of my 20s to find the confidence to do it. And I didn't even know I was looking to do it. But when I had done it, everything started to open up. Really, that's exactly how it happened.
Generation of people who were born after independence, most of them are under the age of 50. Many of them managed to get to a certain place because Kenya did provide a reasonably decent education for some of its people. But what happened was the country was so badly being mismanaged that the economy was declining, and so when they hit majority, which is 18, 21, or came out of college, they were just hanging about, either doing innovative things in the informal sector or doing in dead-end jobs and doing things on the side. And so what happened 5 years ago with a mixture of euphoria and growth-style politics is that, especially in Nairobi, a new generation of people started to do very well. Started to have purchasing power, started to invest, started to get loans, starting to be loan givers, starting to start banks and schools and IT businesses and all kinds of things. There was an idea of a return of something. And for me, belonging to a generation like that, it was amazing to see my peers and what they could do with just a little bit of a boost in the sense of possibility. And for me, talking about the equity generation is very important because there's a sense of fatalism amongst us, Africans and other people, that somehow whatever it is that ails our countries is unfixable, is unknowable, is unmeasurable. And when you see examples like that, you realize that really it's very much about arranging a political and economic structure well enough that people get to do the things they need to do, and given the chance, they will.